Good evening. I'm Haitham Rasul, and I'm the advisor for the National Honor Society. Thank you for joining me in recognizing the hard work and diligence of the Cleveland Heights High School students. The National Honor Society is the nation's premier organization established in 1921 to recognize outstanding high school students. NHS recognizes students who excel in scholarship, leadership, service, and character. These 4 pillars of the organization guide the work of our local chapter. To qualify for initial membership in the National Honor Society, students must have at least a 3.5 weighted GPA. The NHS is advised by a faculty council. They are 5 faculty members appointed by the National Committee. Their role is an advisory one as well as a voting one in terms of membership. The NHS Faculty Council here at Heights High is comprised of Sean Washington, Hannah Reed, David Stewart, David Peake, and Latrice Douglas. This year's highlights an accomplishment of the NHS organization here at Heights High. They acted in an advisory role in the Heights High Alumni Hall of Fame induction. They partnered with the Future Teachers of America and the tutoring lab here at the high school. They volunteered at many high school and district events that included providing building tours to new families and visiting students. They're also servers at the annual Alumni Pancake Breakfast. Our biggest effort has been the High School National Honor Society Tutoring Lab. Whether it's been individual student tutoring during the school day or establishing and staffing the NHS Tutoring Lab after school, all members have committed themselves to advancing the academic achievement of all Heights High students. Students can get help in any content area, homework, they can review for an upcoming test or quiz, prepare for the OGT or any other tests that we face, organize an essay or work on a project. I would like to thank Joy Henderson, Keith Newman, and the stage crew for their help in tonight's ceremony. The NHS officers will lead tonight's ceremony. Please welcome Cleveland Heights High School Administrative Principal, Mr. Ross. Thank you.
Good evening. What about that barbershop crew? You guys like them? They're always one of our favorites. Today I have the distinct pleasure of congratulating and welcoming 40 amazing students into the National Honor Society, a group built off of the highest standards of achievement, not only in the area of academics or community service, but in character and leadership, in the way in which we present ourselves to the world, in the way in which we intend the world to see us. First and foremost, to all the new members of the National Honor Society, this is your day. Job well done. Your selection is a significant accomplishment. Let me also say congratulations to the parents and the families of these remarkable young people. Your unconditional love, guidance, support, and encouragement throughout the years is a big reason why your sons and daughters are here tonight. Your efforts have definitely paid off for you. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't thank the teachers, administrators, and staff for their contributions and solid dedication to our students. Many are present here tonight. Generally, when someone is inducted into the National Honor Society, we think of the word honor, which is defined as high respect, esteem, the adherence to what is right. You all have met that standard. As a principal, I am fortunate to be able to engage in many conversations with students. I've learned, while talking with some of the students, that many people believe to be inducted into the National Honor Society, you have to have a 3-point GPA. And if you obtain that the 3.5 GPA, and if you obtain that, then you're in, you're good. Some say you're just gifted, and it comes easily for you. Now, let me say this. I know that that's incorrect. Simply having a gift isn't enough. Let me say that again. Simply having a gift isn't enough. A wise man once told me, a gift accomplishes nothing on its own. I was told, you need to be willing to use your gifts and to make them work for you. I know you had to work for the grades and also prove yourself with concrete achievements and sustained performances in the areas of leadership, services, and character. You do not sit back and rely on your ability to study and work carefully in your classes. No, that's not enough for you. You have taken an active role, a responsible role in your lives. You share the belief that a few can help to inspire the many. You are selfless leaders, role models, game changers, critical thinkers who give service to others without worrying about what you're going to receive in return. Whether you believe it or not, the school looks up to you now. The teachers and administration will come to you with respect, and they will also come to you with requests for your help, often at the last minute, and often sometimes desperate, as you can tell by some of our young folk over here. Sometimes that means having to put together 30 volunteers for an event you may not even be aware of. In addition, you may not even know that it existed. Sometimes it will mean making a choice, choosing to set other things aside as an individual will be important to you. Be the individual who goes the extra mile to ensure that all the help that is needed is received. In all honesty, if I'm honest with all of our young folk here tonight, it really will be your peers who are going to look up to you more than anyone else. They will look to you for your guidance as well as your help. And once again, you will be in a position to choose how you're going to give it to them. So, as you move forward in this journey, display your gifts in the things you love to do, but don't settle there. Continue to develop them. Find your dreams and pursue your dreams. Whatever you are in school or whatever you end up being in life, set a goal and do everything in your power to achieve that goal. Don't let anyone or anything discourage you. You may not succeed, but you'll be happy that you tried and you put forth effort. If your imaginations haven't yet shown you that dream, or if you haven't yet worked out your life's master plan, believe me, there's probably some people in the audience who still haven't figured out their life's master plan. That's okay. It will be a good start if you simply go out today and every day and do something special. You have earned your National Honor Society certificate, and I congratulate you for that. I look forward to the upcoming year and working with you as new members of the National Honor Society. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this proudly. We and I love you. We value you, and we appreciate you for all that you do for Cleveland Heights High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. Welcome. My name is Alicia Negro, and I am one of this year's co-presidents of NHS. Tonight is a very special night for the selected individuals here who have led their class by example. These students can be classified as leaders and scholars. They exemplify the pillars of character, leadership, service, and scholarship through exceptional work in school and community service. Each pillar will be described in detail by our current NHS officers tonight. Then the inductees will take their first pledge as official NHS members. We are also very honored to have a Case Western Reserve University student and Cleveland Heights High School graduate, Carlin Jackson, as a keynote speaker. Now I will speak on the pillar of leadership. I am honored to be here today to help recognize a group of very deserving students. I now would like to again commend you all for your achievements thus far on your scholastic career. Through all your hard work and dedication, you have demonstrated that you deserve this. As co-president of this chapter of National Honor Society, it seems only fitting that I should discourse on the subject of leadership. To echo the pillars of the National Honor Society, a true leader represents discipline, a commitment to respecting those they lead, and the strength and integrity of character to set a positive example for others. Yet these words are just vague concepts, and when it comes to applying them to real life, it can be difficult to fully represent. I have had the privilege to serve in a number of leadership positions in both academic and extracurricular settings. Perhaps the most important thing I have learned about being a leader is self-confidence. As a leader, one must engender respect from those you lead by being able to make executive decisions, some of which might not always be easy to make. The sooner you learn to do this, the more prepared you will be to fulfill the leadership roles you will be expected to assume throughout your life. In fact, you are already being called upon to fill such a role. As an NHS member, you are becoming a leader both within your school as well as within your community. It is your responsibility to serve as a role model who is confident in their ability to promote fortitude and righteousness and to inspire others to do the same. This is the task of a leader, and it is my belief that each and every one of you have the ability to fulfill these roles in the upcoming school year as the 2015-2016 chapter of the National Honor Society. Just as your school, your family, and I myself are proud of you, you should also be proud of yourselves, for you have just taken another step in a lifelong journey of excellence, which should prove to be greater reward than any recognition could ever be. For this I commend you and wish you good luck for this upcoming school year. And now it is my pleasure to introduce you to our NHS Secretary, Miriam Bennett, who will speak on the Pillar of Character.
Character is what sets us apart from others. Character is what we as individuals are responsible for. Perhaps character is how we would like others to perceive us, but perhaps it is who we are when no one is watching. I believe that character is not showing what you already know how to do, but how you approach things that are unknown. It is a test of strength and determination, striving to make the right choices every day. To me, good character is more admirable than having natural talent. Having character is having a sense of moral purpose. It is knowing the right thing to do in any situation. To be a person of good character, there are certain things one must strive for. You must stand by your own beliefs. Though it is easy to be swayed by your peers, you must stay true to yourself and remember what matters to you. You must strive to be an honorable person in all that you do, no matter how difficult. Lastly, you must never lose heart. Seeking your true character is not an easy task, but it is important that you keep looking despite the challenges and obstacles you may encounter. It is the obstacles that each one of you will have to face that will truly strengthen and develop your character. By being inducted into the National Honor Society, you have each proven to be dedicated to the pillars that we pride ourselves on. All of you are at the top of your respective classes academically and have proven your commitment to becoming a leader and a role model for your peers. I applaud the achievements each of you has made and encourage you to continue to strive for excellence and stay true to who you are and what you believe in. Now it is my pleasure to introduce this year's Vice President, Juliana Sorio, to speak about the Pillar of Service.
Service is the means by which we better the lives of others while simultaneously improving the quality of our own character. To provide for someone in need illustrates selflessness, humility, and true kindness. Today's inductees have demonstrated an exceptional commitment in community service. As inductees to the National Honor Society, they are recognized for going above and beyond any service requirements and assisting the needs of others based on their own personal will to do so. NHS prides itself on its daily staffing of the free tutoring lab at Cleveland Heights High School and has also assisted other service-based clubs at Heights, such as Project Build and the Environmental Club. Individuals additionally partake in countless projects, charities, and volunteer groups outside of Heights High. This devotion to service has meant a lifetime of gratitude for the recipients of the various service projects, but arguably even more so for those providing the service, as it has and will continue to create well-rounded individuals who have care and compassion for others. I encourage all of you to continue to excel in the area of service in order to better the lives of those around you as well as your own. I am now pleased to introduce to you your NHS Treasurer, Isaiah Pressman, who will speak on the Pillar of Scholarship.
Good evening, and congratulations to all of you who, through your efforts and studies, have been recognized as NHS members. It is a great honor for me to recognize each of your scholarly diligence. However, I believe what should make you proudest is not the recognition itself, but rather the journey you underwent to receive it. The 4 pillars of the National Honor Society are ideals that will stay with you throughout your life, and the 4th pillar is that of scholarship, an intense commitment to learning. Each of you has been accepted into NHS not simply because of scores on a test or letters on a report card, but because you have all demonstrated a profound desire to learn. Whereas raw intelligence can be inherited, your commitment to scholarship is completely your own, developed throughout your life and strengthened by your dedication, responsibility, and conscientiousness. Well beyond the time when your GPA is long forgotten, these attributes will live on within you. Take care to treasure and cultivate this pillar, for it will carry you through life in the noblest of fashions. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce to you our 2015 NHS inductees. Please hold your applause until all inductees have been recognized.
Charles Adams. Sivram Ankaran. Gavin Alcorn. Lucille Ashford. Miriam Azam. Graham Ball. Ayana Banks. Olivia Brown. Anya Chu. Krista Cobb. Paris Colbert. Sydney Cook. Linnea Kovalt. Liliana Cruz. George Davis. Avery Dyer. Easton Figueroa. David Fleischer. Michael Garrett.
Henry Gray. Danielle Hefner. Flannery Jewell. Jeremy Kaufman. Annalise Cousin. Andrew Kilbride. Jessa Lammert. Daniel Lawson. Rael Manning. Alyssa Moore. Ariana Murray. Gabriel Piwu. Dory Ferris. Cody Radivojevich. Benjamin Schuster. James Smith. Callie Swain Fox. And William Vandenbogert.
And now the NHS officers will lead the NHS new class in reading the NHS pledge. I pledge myself to uphold the highest purpose of the National Honor Society, which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school, and I will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Back again. Now it is my pleasure to introduce tonight's keynote speaker. Carlin D.T. Jackson is a 2011 graduate of the Cleveland Heights High School and is currently a senior at Case Western Reserve. When Carlin was at Heights High, he was in Career Tech Computer Networking program. He graduated with 17 college credits from AP courses, 17 college credits from Cisco Networking Academy, and 2 technical industry certifications. He was the founder of the Physics and IT Clubs, president of the National Technical Honor Society, and a proud member of the National Honor Society. Carlin is now a fourth-year Lewis Stokes Congressional Black Caucus Scholar at the Case Western Reserve. He majors in computer science and minors in finance, management, and math. He lectures weekly as an undergraduate teaching assistant in the Electrical Engineering and Computer Science Department. He works as a platform software engineer for Explores Incorporation and as student process analyst for Case Western Reserve's information technology services. For the past 2 years, Carlin has served as Case Western's Google Student Ambassador and Adobe Student Representative. He will graduate with his bachelor's degree in May 2015. On Case's campus, Carlin is involved in several technical and service organizations. In August 2015, Carlin will begin graduate school in the finance program in the Weatherhead School of Management at Case Western Reserve and will also take graduate-level computer science courses. Outside of school, Carlin dedicates his time to his family and community, volunteering at his church, and helping entrepreneurs refine their ideas. Above all else, Carlin values his faith in God, parents Cedric Sr. and Linda, siblings, extended family, and friends. Please join me in welcoming Carlin Jackson.
Good evening to Superintendent Dixon, Principal Ross, faculty and staff, and to the 2015 inductees. Good evening. I want to give a special thanks to Joy Henderson and Mr. Ross Sewell for this opportunity. Back in the fall, I had the pleasure of speaking with high school families about college readiness, and from that, this opportunity arose, and I'm just extremely honored to be here. Over the past semester, I was thinking about the words I'd give tonight. I couldn't help but reminisce about this time in my life, approximately 5 years ago, as I was transitioning to my senior year, and I was so excited to become a member of National Honor Society. I was thinking about the fact that both my siblings were actually heavily involved. My sister was actually president when she was in the senior. My brother was the vice president, I think, of public relations. And I remember being a freshman around that time, and like, what are they doing? What are they doing? What is National Honor Society all about? And I remember attending their induction ceremonies and seeing the pomp and circumstance and everything that went along. It's like, one day, I'm gonna make sure that I follow in their footsteps and I get in National Honor Society. So from 9th grade, 10th grade, beginning of 11th grade, it was just all about getting in. But it wasn't until I started the process that I really, attempted to truly understand what is it all about. There's the words on the page, there's the 4 pillars: leadership, community service, character, and leadership. What is it all about? What does it mean? We heard the students give their words on the meanings of those pillars. And so let me just recap quickly. Scholarship, it's not just about getting straight A's. It's not just about scoring highly, being able to demonstrate your brilliance. It's about the process. It's about your dedication to education. It's about committing yourself to lifelong learning. For leadership, it's not just about, standing out per se, but it's about being convicted about your own beliefs and being willing to, tread the path that's, not as traveled. It's about being willing to lead others, So the next one is community service. This is one of my favorite pillars because when I watched the National Honor Societies in the 3 years leading up to it, one of the most visible things I saw was the tutoring and their consistent dedication to services. My year when we did it, I think we visited the manor for senior citizens. And in a conversation I had with the individual there, he was a 80-year-old former engineer. He actually was an alum of Heights High, and he spoke to us, and it really captivated us. He talked about, what he did in high school, how it was able to prepare him for college. He actually ended up attending Princeton and studied finance, and then got his MD, and then went back like 20 years later and got an electrical engineering degree. It was pretty crazy. But what really struck with me was that, throughout the course of his life, for him, it was never about the successes of his, academic, career. It wasn't about the success he had in industry. It was about how those opportunities gave him the resources to be able to dedicate almost all of his time to service. And you talked about the various charities that he was a part of, the different community service boards that he sat on. And it really captivated us and made us feel really good about the fact that we were spending that time dedicating our hours to talking to these senior citizens. And so that's probably one of my favorite pillars. But lastly, character. And I think, honestly, this is probably the chiefest pillar amongst all of these, because it ultimately informs, your dedication, your commitment to the other three. Something I like to always ask is, what is the measure of man? Is it his, wealth? Is it his external, secular success? I challenge us to redefine success to mean the convictions of your heart, to mean, the common definition you probably always heard is, what is it that you do when no one else is looking? I think that's a valid one. But like I said, it ultimately informs the other three. If you have no character, yeah, you might succeed, you might be brilliant, but your true perspective on scholarship is lacking. You might be able to be in charge of different excellent initiatives, but many might not call you a true leader. Your community service might just be about checking a box, saying, yes, I did this, but you might not truly care about the true impact of what's happening, what's occurring. And so, again, I know I just kind of rehashed everything that was heard, but I think it's crucial because I was looking into the structure of National Honor Society as the national organization, and it was telling. It said that those 4 pillars aren't just, the criteria for being involved. It embodies the purpose, the mission of the organization. And I looked at its motto. It said, it's French, so excuse me, I'm not fluent, but it's noblesse oblige, I believe. If anyone is fluent, please don't get on me. But the definition said, whoever claims to be noble must conduct himself nobly. And one must act in a fashion that conforms with one's position and with the reputation one has earned. Now, if you think about that motto, You know, typically at induction ceremonies, the 4 pillars, carries the day. It's about 100% of what you hear. But I think this motto is really telling. It's saying that these pillars, yes, they define our essence. It's the criterion for which you've been selected. But it's meant not just to be that. It's supposed to be something that you take with you, that you graft into your personality, that helps identify you. If one were to analyze you, your actions, your thoughts, the way you go about things, they should be able to clearly see how you align with those 4 pillars. And so I want to challenge you guys today is don't let National Honor Society just be about high school. Don't let it be just another achievement, another thing to list on your college application. Let it be something that you abide by for the rest of your life. For me, when I became a member, I was so excited again. And that next year, our group got on the ground running. We were really excited to be involved with the tutoring service, things like that. But by the time I got to the second semester, many of the seniors might be able to relate, your focus inevitably starts becoming on college, on, what do you want to do for senior project, about, senior activities, and, everything regarding graduation, and kind of moving on. Maybe sewing up different friendships, reconciliation, all those things that, is traditionally associated with graduation and moving on. But what I found was after, a couple of years at Case, that noticing the differences between certain students, the ones who kind of just went about their business, maybe got good grades, maybe didn't. The difference between them and the ones who truly excelled and stand out on campus, maybe you wouldn't describe it in the exact same way of these 4 pillars. But if you were to truly analyze what they're doing and how they do it, they're truly still following the NHS formula. They have strong scholarship, strong leadership. They dedicate a large amount of their time to community service, and they have amazing character and integrity. And so NHS is something that is valuable. You should be exceedingly proud and remain proud that you were inducted into this, this organization, this body, because what it says is it recognizes everything you've done up to this point, but what it really truly means is that we have confidence that you're going to be able to continue and have great success in the future if you abide by this. After my induction ceremony, I was like, yeah, this is great. There's a reception, and then I went home, and, semester's almost over, school year's almost over. I want to encourage you to, this year that you've been inducted, start thinking, start analyzing your own actions. Because you've been inducted, that means you're already, meet the bill, but the idea is, what can I do more? How can I go further? Yeah, you might have heard the different things I'm involved with on campus, but I would say what I'm probably most passionate about right now is the time I'm able to take every once in a while. Of course, I'm about to graduate, so my life is kind of crazy right now, but it's the time I'm able to spend with my family, with my church, and it's in the community. And I say this because the district, it has a motto of making your students college ready and life prepared. And another motto I was looking at on the website is preparing all students for success in a global economy. At Case Western Reserve University, the demographics of our student body is very diverse, very vast. In my 4 years, I would wager to say I've had classmates from over 50 different countries about. I've been able to get to know them, understand their cultures, their perspectives, understand what's important to them, learn from how they learn, and different things that you can imagine. And in addition to that, and some of the things I've involved myself with, I would like to say that I've gotten a very good grasp upon what that global economy is like. And so I look back on my experiences here, and I would say that the district and Cleveland Heights High School did a great job in preparing me to be able to have success. And I still think I'm very young, so I have a lot of ways to go, but I just wanted to kind of encourage you guys that in addition to NHS, but this school, it's doing a great job, whether you believe it or not, in preparing you. And so I said that to say, the reason, in the context of all of that, I still look at, the time I spend with my family, the time I spend at church, and the time I spend in my community, because I realize that everything I'm doing out there, if it doesn't have an effect at home, if it doesn't have an effect in what's truly important to me, what is it all worth? And so again, it ties all the way back into these 4 pillars of scholarship, leadership, community service, and character. And so I just finally want to leave you with this last thing of, 1, be proud of it. Wear a badge of honor. Make students in the grades beneath you to look at you and see that that's an NHS member. Look at what they've done. Look at how excellent they do. Look at the standard that they set. Many of you, I assume, are athletes. Many of you are, academic geniuses, savants. Many of you are musically gifted and able. Others have other skills, talents. Well, you guys are the cream of the crop. You're the best, as you might be able to say. So I just wanted to congratulate you on this amazing honor and to live up to it. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take this opportunity to thank Carlin once again for agreeing to be our keynote speaker. And I do want to mention the programs that you have in your hand. It was Carlin who designed it, actually, 5 years ago when he was an NHS member. You probably don't remember that. But he did design it, and we continue to use it. It was Carlin's group who also laid out the current plan that we use. It was their fundraising efforts that enabled us to purchase the candles, the tablecloth, the banners, all those things. They're the ones who really established the tutoring lab the way that it runs today. So I do want to thank Carlin and his group because they really did do a fabulous job that year. And I've been the advisor for 5 years now in NHS. And it's been a great 5 years being the advisor because we've really done a lot. And I'm just so very proud of all the inductees. I'm very proud of the new group that's coming in. When Carlin talked about 11th and 12th grade, back when Carleton got inducted, they only inducted 11th graders. So kids were only inducted into NHS for a year. When Carleton's group came on, we changed that, and we got kids inducted in the 11th and 12th grade years so that we had continuity of services. So as the seniors graduated, the juniors moved up into officer positions but kind of continued the work of NHS. So once again, I wanted to thank Carleton for that. I want to thank the new inductees. I want to thank the officers. I want to thank Mr. Ross and Joy Henderson and everybody involved. I want to give a shout out to Mark Brown and Brian Bailey, who are back there videotaping this. And I'm sure it'll be on Channel 22 at some point. But for now, I want to ask the inductees to go and take their positions on the stairs in the social room for a picture. And it'll be the last picture in the current Heights High. So we kind of want to get a nice picture. If I could get Keith or one of his crew to get me the banner down so they can take the picture with it, that'd be great. Parents, if you can kind of give the inductees a minute to get over to the social room and get lined up, then you can follow them. We do have light refreshments in the social room. And we can mingle and chat and stay as long as you want to. Thank you. Have a good evening.